Well, I haven't managed to get too much in the way of new content, but I had a bit of a poke through the hard drive and came up with this footage that was filmed a few years ago. So I decided to finish editing it, put my false teeth in, and upload it. I'm looking for rabbits, of course, and I'm using my FAC Theoben MFR and the little NiteSite Viper. Now, this is one of the older NiteSite Vipers, and it's not one of the newer RTake models which has the built-in video recorder abilities. To record the footage you're seeing at the minute, I have to use an external video recorder plugged into the back of the unit. I'm using a Lawmate PV500, which was expensive to buy at the time and is a bit of a pain to use with trailing wires and the start-up time on it, and nowhere near as handy as the newer RTake Vipers. But it's what was available at the time, and myself and others used them to great effect. Watership down, bunny down. I zoom the magnification ring out to give me a wider field of view so I can scan for rabbits, then zoom back into about 6 power magnification to take the shot. But this one manages to give me the slip behind the thistles somehow. Number 2 in the bag. Now, for those of you who are already typing away in the comments, I keep seeing red dots. What the red dots for? Well, I'll try and explain it to you now. A while ago, I tried experimenting with a cheap gun-mounted laser to help me judge range at night. Now, this isn't a new thing. It's been done with air rifles before in the past, before we really had access to handheld laser rangefinders. Now, I mounted the laser to the right hand side of my scope. I couldn't mount it on top of the scope because it would have been in the road of the NiteSite Viper. And I zeroed the laser to the crosshairs at 40 yards, which is my rifle zero. The idea was, if the laser shone on the right hand side of the crosshairs, the target was closer than 40 yards. And if the laser shone on the left hand side of the crosshairs, the target would be further away than 40 yards. And of course, if the laser was in the dead center of the crosshairs, the target was at 40 yards. And it was relatively successful, but it's no way near as accurate as a proper laser rangefinder. But it did give me an idea when I spotted a rabbit whether I needed to get closer for the shot or whether I could take the shot from where I was. But it was a bit bulky, it was easy to knock off zero, and it stuck out 2 to 3 inches from the side of the rifle. And you can now get scope mounted laser rangefinders anyway, so I never went any further with the idea. Another good thing to take with you when you're out with night vision is a simple wee head torch. Not only to see where you're actually going, but also to find what you just shot, because it can be so easy to get confused and lost in the dark, really. The strike was a little lower in that one, but still a good clean kill. As you can hear, it was a bit breezy that night. Perfect for hunting at night, as it helps cover your approach, but it doesn't help filming any. I've covered 2 or 3 fields from where I started, without much luck, but I spotted a couple of eye shines in the dark here, so hopefully we'll get another one before the night's out. I knelt down for the shot, hit the laser, which was in the centre of the crosshairs, which should be 40 yards. Why I didn't take the shot at the time, I do not know, but for some reason decided to try and get a wee bit closer. Of course, by the time I'd walked another 5-6 yards closer, the rabbit had got another 10-15 yards further away. He was slowly edging his way towards the hedgerow. And again, I hit him with a laser, and now he was just over 40 yards. Hit him with the laser again. Realised I needed a wee bit of holdover. And managed to drop him nicely with a headshot. The other rabbit had scarpered, not surprisingly, so I went over to pick up the rabbit I just shot. Well, not the biggest bag in the world, but at least I got something for my efforts.